Hello, welcome to the book room. Today, I wasn't going to do a video, but as I did one Sunday with my rehousing some snails, I thought I might as well film this. Basically, what I'm doing is rehousing some mantis nymphs. I've got 6 or 7 mantis nymphs I need to rehouse. I've got some more there as well, and some up there. So, what I've done here is these are coffee jars, just plain and simple coffee jars, and all I've done is make a mesh lid for them out of organza and a bit of plastic with tape on it. And if you want to see how I do these, then I have a video called, what's it called? Lids and Death. Lids and Death, of course. Take or death, take or death. So if you go on the link here above, you will get to see how I make these nice little easy take-off lids that keep out or in fruit flies and other small creatures, and make it nice and easy for your mantis to grab the top or whatever. To be honest with you, it doesn't have to be a mantis that you put in there, and they're also easy to pull out like that. So what I'm going to do is I've cleaned all these jars, well, the best I can, labels off. They're just coffee jars. My neighbours, believe it or not, actually leave these on my doorstep when they finish with their coffee. They wash the jars, put them on my doorstep. I have tons of jars everywhere, so I might as well get use out of the coffee jars. And the way I'm going to do it is by housing my mantis nymphs for probably get 4, 5 maybe. By the time I have to move them on to something bigger. But obviously I don't want to put everything in something big right away. A, they can't find the food because they're dopey and I have to feed them all by hand. And B, notice how much space you'd need to have a big size tank for each mantis. It'd be just ridiculous, and not to mention the expense. So I'm going to make bioactive. There's this stuff is what I call stick insect or phasmid strippings. These are old privets and the like. I just throw them in one of my phasmid tanks, and they strip them nicely for me. And also the isopods in there strip the bark as well. So I ended up with this nice thing that's been basically quarantined. It's been stripped and cleaned by Mother Nature itself. And this is what I use for my sticks. So I've got a bunch of these that I took out here and just give them some new ones to cannibalise for me. And in here I have substrate. This substrate is pretty much just leaf mould. It is sphagnum moss, and it's a bit of reptile sand, which I like to use just because I like the colour. And it's got a bit of calcium in there if you ever put isopods in there, nearly called wood lice then. And it's got some cocoa fibre again, just to keep in some moisture, because when they're nymphs, you need the moisture for when they're molting. And I've just had a curry, so I might be a bit right. Anyway, not doing too much else, not making them pretty. I do have, for anybody who was watching my experiments in moss, I do have my box I used for that because that was the first one I came across, and it's pretty much, well, filled. The moss has completely took over. I'll probably get a shot of that actually and show you in a second. But the moss has took over there, and I've got a nice little plant that's growing, which is bittercress. So I might even use that, I don't know yet. So I'm going to use this moss for, instead of doing that video again, we'll call that day for that video because this experiment obviously worked. So I'm going to use this moss, bit of moss in here, and that's just keeping moisture. I'm not doing it because it's pretty. I'm not even attempting to make these pretty. These are purely to grow nymphs on. Now, I normally have jars that I've used before, but these have actually got mantis in them. But a lot of them also, for some strange reason, I don't know where they came from, do have isopods in them. And I don't like isopods in with young nymphs because they tend to demolish or kill the nymph whilst they're molting. So I like to make new ones if I find isopods anywhere, because otherwise they're just so difficult to get rid of, you know. So we'll clean up those jars and redo them again at a later date. But for now, I've only got 7 to rehouse at the moment, or I want rehousing at the moment. So I'm going to use these coffee jars because they have millions of them. So let's go on with that. Now, obviously, the first thing I'm going to do is bang some substrate in these jars. So I'm not going to be putting a drainage layer. It doesn't really matter. There's got a organza top on it, so we're going to lose moisture anyway. I'm going to have to spray them daily. Plus, the fact you need to spray them because the nymphs want to drink. So you need to spray the side of the glass or the side of whatever container you've got them in, so the nymphs can have a little drink. But never spray the nymphs right in the face. I don't like it. So I'm just going to shove a bit of this in here, like so. I mean, I don't like too pretty, but I'm going to make some kind of effort. Yeah. So, right now there, and my curry still hasn't gone. Really shouldn't eat curry before making a video. It's not professional, is it? Well, at least I don't have to speak to anybody. I'm right in the face because probably not good. This took me hours this morning to to take off the labels on some of these jars. I'll tell you now, Morrison's coffee jars are much better than Nescafe. I'll tell you that. I don't drink coffee. So I'm just going to fill these. And I'm going to speed this up.
Finished?
No. I will try that again because the wife just walked in and walked straight past. Didn't even notice. Because this is what I do all the time. So I just speed these through. Right, these are the 7 jars. I'll call them the 7 dwarfs. They've all got a bit of substrate in, random amounts, but pretty much about a quarter of the jar. So this is all fairly dry substrate, so I'm going to give it a bit of a spray. And we're going to do each one at a time. I'll give it a bit of spray. Not a lot. I don't want it soaking wet. And I'm going to give it a bit of a mix up there. Make sure it's not just wet on the top. And now I'm just going to get some moss, stuff it at the bottom, put a stick in, put the top on, and then we're done. So I'll speed this up, eh? Alright, I've made 7 of these. Now, I didn't think you'd want to see. Let's do this better. I didn't think you'd want to see me make 7 replicas of the same thing. So that's why I've cut to the chase, and now I have 7 of them here that I'm now going to put Mantis in. What I've got now is 6 of these guys, which is the Sphotra Mantis, and this is the Lineola, which is the African lined mantis, and I have got 1 stray random Philocrania, so a ghost mantis. It will be random. I've got another few up the top there, so I'm going to pop these in here with some lunch for them. So I'm going to get our mantis into here, and you normally get them in these pots when you buy them. Or when you've bred them yourself, it's generally a good idea to put them in these pots. This has already been sprayed down. Now, I might have problems here because mantis do like to go upwards. Go on, mate. Go in there. No, he's quite happy. Yep. Let's give him a bit of a poke. I'm going to give him a bit of a fly. There's one. And now it's in the jar. I might put more than one in, but I'm trying to monitor these guys. So that's one done. And I've got to do another 6. And that's how easy and quick it is and efficient it is to get your mantis all out of the little pots into a nice bioactive container. I'm going to put springtails in these guys. I forgot to do that, and it's something I should have mentioned. If you're going to have bioactives, it's a good idea to put springtails in, because if you do get any mould, they're going to eat it, and any other bits of legs of crickets or flies or whatever you're feeding them, they'll demolish them as well. So it's always best practice to put springtails in, and I will be doing it shortly. But that's it, basically. That's me. I've rehoused my 7 of my nymphs. I've still got to rehouse more, but these will do for now, and this is how I do it. There's a video on the lids. The rest of the stuff, do what you want inside. It doesn't matter. Can be pretty, can be not pretty. I don't know. These are temporary enclosures, so there's no point making any real major effort making a complete terrarium out of each one of them and make them all nice and pretty just to demolish them at a later date. So they get a bit of moss and a stick. So that's your lot. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked it, subscribe, give us a like, that sort of thing. Maybe comment below. Should I keep this beard or should I shave it off? I don't know. You tell me. See you next time.